Hi, my name is Ashlyn Warda with the James G. Martin Center for Academic Renewal. Today, we're interviewing a recent state grad about his experience with dual enrollment. If you'd like to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us like what your education path and career look like currently.
Yeah, so hello, my name is Richard Basile, and like Ashlyn said, I graduated from NC State in December of 2024, and I'm 19 years old still, and I am starting a full-time job, which I've already started for 2 weeks now at Cisco, and I'm working as a communication specialist, and I'm getting prepared to go to law school in August. So that's my career path is on right now, and I'm excited to tell about what got me here, what got me to this point.
Awesome. Thank you. So, your big interesting fact is that you graduated high school with 70 college credits. I'm really interested to hear about how you learned about the Career and College Promise program, and then what led you to begin dual enrollment.
There was an A lunch session for registration that was available at my school, Panther Creek High School in Cary, North Carolina. And I registered for the information session about the CCP. A Wake Tech advisor came during A lunch and then really started to tell us about the program, all the eligibility requirements, all the documents that we needed to get set done. And the more I was learning about it, I became obsessed with just learning more about the program, asking other alumni of the CCP program how it went with them. What are some good classes to take if I know I wanted to be a lawyer soon? And I think a big onus for me to start the CCP program was because of the financials of it. If I take CCP courses while I'm enrolled in high school, all the CCP courses are completely free. The only thing I have to pay are out-of-pocket costs like software or books. So I wasn't able to register in my first semester, but I let up everything and got prepared to register for my second semester. So I tell everyone I started a little late. So in the second semester of my junior year, that's when I started the CCP program, and I only started taking two classes. So that second semester, I took two classes, and then the summer, I was able to register as well. From two classes, I went from my second semester of junior year to three classes in the summer, to four classes in the fall, to five classes in the spring, the next spring, and then so on and so on. And I would keep scaling up the class load and the workload as it related to me and my aptitude to try to complete all of those things. And I would say like I think this was one of your other questions as well, and I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but it was definitely a way to adjust myself to being prepared to work in the workforce in the future because I was handling taking classes in my high school while otherwise using going to Wake Tech classes and learning about their software because they have a whole separate software that's Blackboard and then high school's Canvas, whatever. So I would have to really try to, time manage. This was a great skill builder for me because I was able to time manage. In the midst of it, I was also applying to colleges. A great thing about the CCP program is that because of the CAA, which is the articulation agreement of the state, it says that if I come in with an associate's in arts degree to any university in the UNC system, I must be a junior. After doing my research, learning about the CAA, I say to myself, well, it's really smart to apply to in-state colleges because I know all these credits will transfer binarily, one-to-one ratio, and I can fulfill my goal of graduating early so I can go to law school. And I've always wanted to be a lawyer. That's one thing that I've always really wanted to do. I'd be a first generation law student in my family. So it's just something that I've always wanted to accomplish in my life. And this was one avenue to get that done in the quickest way possible.
That's awesome. So you began in your junior year, spring semester. Did you feel like it was challenging to get the information you needed for the Career and College Promise program, or was it like you had to do some digging, but it was there?
You had to do some digging, but it was there. It was a lot
Mhm.
of calling community colleges like Wake Tech. It was a lot less of what you would think it was, like talking to your high school advisors who are not as knowledgeable as, a Wake Tech advisor. So you definitely had to do some work outside of your regular schooling and you had to contact people. You really had to go get it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
my dad tells me like high agency is the
Mhm.
greatest policy. So that's what I try to take into my life. I was like, if I can try to fulfill something, I'm gonna go try to go do that. If there's information to go get, I'll be the one to go get it. I'm not gonna wait on anyone else.
Right.
That's the kind of mentality that I drove into working on these classes.
So you mentioned this a little bit, but do you feel like your time being dual enrolled helped prepare you for your classes that you then took for undergrad and then maybe even looking ahead to your law degree that you're pursuing?
I would say extremely so. I'd say in high school, it was a great way to prepare me what actual college work was like. I think a great differentiation between the classes I was taking in community college through the CCP program and comparing that to the classes in the AP classes, they're just so much different. You're getting an actual college instruction instead of a high school teacher, but instead you're getting that in a different environment with other college students. So if it's something that you're ready for, it's a great way to, manage your time as well, because now you have to handle taking high school classes alongside taking CCP classes. A lot of it is just being able to handle it yourself and really be prepared to do a lot of work. That was it. I think the one semester that I had was kind of crazy was in high school, and I tried to emulate this in my college career, which in my last semester, just one semester ago in the fall, I took 30 college credits to graduate, and I had to get dean approval, and I had to, I had to talk to people high up because my
Mhm,
my personal advisor was telling me like, is this a good idea? Like you have to get this person to approve it.
mhm,
In high school, I took 6 CCP classes while enrolled in all of my high school classes at the same time.
mhm,
So, I was definitely in the mindset of if this is going to save me money, if this is going to help my family financially, I'm funding my own college, and I think that's another big part of it. I have a lot of skin in the game because I was the one taking out the loans for me to
mhm,
go to college and prepare myself for that. And it's going to be the same way for law school as well. I'm extremely blessed and capable of pushing the envelope and doing
mhm,
better things in my life because of a program like this. This is a program that was able to, at my own pace, whatever I wanted, basically, but not because that's what the rules were set for me to do. It's because I really wanted to get something done that way. And no
mhm.
matter what, I was going to get it done. That was the mindset.
So in our work, we're higher education policy, but we write about a lot of different topics. And recently I've been looking into just this concept of, they call it like student infantilization, where students are kind of almost stunted. They may not understand like the process of taking responsibility for the financial side of college, as well as the like showing up to class, things like that, that it is higher stakes once you're in college versus high school. And
Yeah.
this just sounds like a really awesome opportunity for you to have like taken these real world, like, yes, you have to pay for your degree. Yes, you have to show up to class. You have to manage your time. If you miss an assignment, like that's on you. Um, and that just sounds like really awesome. Like you've got a lot of experience under your belt heading into like a real world job, which is that just sounds invaluable to me.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ashlyn, and I agree with that sentiment as well. Just because of things that have happened in my personal life, I understand that, I had to pay my own college,
Mm,
and I had to, if I was going to push myself to go to law school, that was going to be my doing, and I understand that, and this was a program that really let me flourish and let me like take things a hold. One of the things I found out while I was in high school too, and this allowed me to mature and really grow as a person, was that classes I was taking in high school, I found out because I knew law school was the way I wanted to go.
mhm,
I called LSAC, which is the accompanying organization of law school admissions, and they
mhm.
said that any classes I'm taking in high school that are college level classes, like CCP classes, would count towards my law school GPA.
Oh.
And I knew the GPA was a huge factor in admissions, and I knew that the classes that I was taking were counting towards that. I say that's really what drove me. I was valedictorian of my class at North Carolina State University. It was probably middle of the ground in my high school, like
Mhm.
dead middle. So a lot of things changed in the latter half of my high school career that allowed me to pursue that. And I didn't get a B, a single B
Wow.
in any CCP class or any NC State class, all A's and A pluses because of
Awesome.
that mindset and because I really knew that I want law school was the thing I wanted to do.
Okay, so when you were at state for your undergrad, did you like, were you kind of an oddball with your experience? Did you feel like your peers and maybe professor interactions, like, had they heard about students doing dual enrollment? And did you just like kind of shock them with what you were walking in with?
A lot of and that's a great question. A lot of the professors and the peers that I had, unless I was really close with them, like there were a few professors that I really liked.
Hmm.
I didn't tend to tell them
Yeah,
that I
sure.
was that I was 19 or whatever
Yeah.
in like these advanced level classes because I didn't want them to treat me any differently or look to me any differently than they would a separate student. And I
Hmm.
wanted to be on the same playing field as other students as well. I didn't want anyone or any professor or any student coming with preconceived notions of my
Sure.
intelligence
Right.
or who I was. Because I don't really think I'm that. I don't think I'm really smart. I just think I'm really ambitious and I'm gonna try to go get it. It was my last semester and I was taking 10 classes in that semester. And my professor, he's like questioning the class. He's like, "So how many classes do y'all have?" And then like raise your hand if you have like three or more classes or four or more classes. And and then I just keep holding my hand up. He's like, "How many classes do you have?" I'm like, "I have other than this, I have nine other classes." And then he was like, "Huh, that's crazy because you do so much work in my class."
Hmm.
So that really got me thinking. I'm like this is definitely a unique path and a
Hmm.
specialized path, but I didn't want other peers or other instrucors thinking otherwise unless I had a really great relationship with them because I wanted to be in the normal atmosphere in the normal environment at
Hmm.
an undergraduate institution. And I had a great experience at NC State. I really can't say good enough things about NC State as an institution and as a pathway for me to go to law school.
Awesome. Um, and so you did mention that one of your bigger challenges when you were in both high school and dual enrollment was time management. Would you say that that was what you found to be the most difficult? And then maybe what was like the biggest benefit you saw?
I say time management for sure, but also being able to cultivate your skills in between all those classes. When you're taking in a lot of information, it can be hard to understand what you're grasping or understand any important concepts that you're learning while you're in those type of scenarios. And I really, I created a lot of time and it taught me a lot about, not learning how to, another thing to time management, not learning to procrastinate. When
Hmm.
things get assigned to me, I complete them or I tend to think about them automatically. I don't let things like linger anymore. And I think that was a thing that was a trait that I had in my early high school years. It was definitely procrastination. So it really has taught me that if you're ambitious, you can teach yourself to act differently.
Hmm.
Not everything is just like, like preconceived. It's
Sure.
not like you're born with procrastination or you're born thinking this way. You can change that. And
Hmm.
I think that's like living proof for me. It forced me to get out there and start to prove to myself that I can do this.
If you had to like put a call out there to rising students who might be interested in this or parents who don't know about the benefits of dual enrollment, what do you want them to know? And like, is there any improvement that you would like to see in the ease of accessing the information that you were able to find?
Yes, 100%. I thought of an idea and I want it to be completely available free to the public is a suite of videos that are step-by-step processes of how to find out about your public schools in-state program,
Hmm.
in-state CCP program. I came in through the pipeline of not as an AIG student. So there's two avenues for eligibility through the CCP. One of them is if you're a freshman or sophomore, you can start taking college classes, but only if you're an AIG student. I applied for AIG in third grade. I failed miserably the classes. So I didn't go through that pipeline. For regular students, juniors and seniors, that's when you gain eligibility.
Okay.
Uh, Learning about that if you're coming into high school is super important. when you're a freshman or when you're a sophomore. Those are the times that you should be thinking about it. Not that time that I learned about it, heading into my junior year just by some happenstance. So
Mhm.
the quicker you get it, the better. I think a lot of advisors try to push back on students doing this. Like, is this possible? Is this
Mhm.
a good avenue for you? I think let the students make that decision for themselves. If this is something they want to move forward with, let them do it themselves. If they take a class and they say this is not for me, then it's not for them. But at
Mhm.
least let them try. I felt that sentiment going around a lot when I was meeting with advisors when I was a junior. They say, "Are you ready for a workload like this?" And I tell them, just let me try to worry
Mhm.
about the workload myself. If you see my grades deflating or my grades devaluing, then let it be known. But
Mhm.
let me be the one to make those decisions. I think that sentiment needs to go around more in high
Yeah.
schools.
I have just really enjoyed our conversation because it's like putting into reality a lot of concepts that we write about, and that we do think that students are more capable than maybe adults or advisors may think that they are. And so it's just really awesome to see this like in real life. Like, yes, maybe your advisor underestimated your ability to handle the workload, but you were able to go out there and say, let me try. And you took responsibility for it, which is awesome. Um, so is there any like last uh words you'd like to say before we wrap up?
Yeah, thank you so much, Ashlyn, for this opportunity again. But I think one of the last things I'll leave with are um, try to take advantage of your early years as much as you can. When you're in high school, there's just so much to think about. There's
Mhm.
a lot of things, a lot of uncertainties. If you can narrow down the uncertainties, that will make you a lot better in life as a general rule. I think one thing about me is I'm 19, but I felt like I've grown up, just way faster,
Mhm.
for good or for bad. I think mostly for good. The reason I've been able to do something like this is because of my personal circumstances, the things I've wanted to get done and accomplish in my life early. The quicker you learn about that, the better you'll be later in your life. Like right now, I'm just I'm at a serene moment basically. I'm at a job that I really like, and I'm looking forward to going to law school. I'm looking forward to fulfilling my dreams, really. Uh, and I want other people to try to experience something like this as well because it's really magical. It's a great experience, and that's one thing I'll leave with. Like high school students, try to figure out what you want to do as fast as you can, and try to find out the ways you can make an impact on this world.
Well, thank you so much for your time and sharing your experience. Um, we're excited to see what the future has for you and wish you the best of luck with your pursuit in your law degree and job.